Hi guys, welcome to Kathy's class. In China, we usually call a teacher 老师 with his or her surname in front. So in my case, you may call me 蔡老师. Cai is my surname. But you know it's super hard to pronounce my surname Cai since is nowhere to be found in other languages. When I was in States, I was called Kai instead. I needed to correct my professors, my classmates, and my friends. Still didn't work very well though, despite the fact there were some successful cases. Sound confusing, right? But you know, when learning a new language, we expect something unexpected. We expand our horizon for something different from our mother tongue and try to embrace these differences to become more culturally diverse. These are the reasons why learning a new language is always exciting. Well, you may stick to Kathy, which probably is easier, but anyway, I still appreciate if you try to pronounce my surname Cai. So much for the chit-chatting, let's get down to the real business. Today, we will talk about transport in China. When it comes to transport, what occurs to you? Road, expressway, bridges, overpass, tunnels, and also train, plane, bus, taxi, just name a few. Let's watch an overview video about China's transport. Okay, welcome back. Transport is an indispensable part of our lives, no matter for ancient time or modern era. We will mainly talk about 4 topics concerning this thing, namely highway, railway, bridges, and transport in Hangzhou. Since we're based in Hangzhou, I would like to show you the scenario of the transport specifically after we introduce the general information about transport in China. As we can see from the 4 pictures, the first picture shows the express train, which look like bullets. The second is a bridge striding over sea. The third shows a dazzling overpass with multi-lanes. Last picture gives us a glimpse of a highway spreading to the depth of desert or Gobi Desert. The 4 pictures offer us an overview of the topics awaiting to be discussed later. Before covering any topic, we will talk about some language-related knowledge which will help us to understand Chinese language and culture better. Today's topic is transport, which in Chinese is pronounced as 交通. You can see in the screen the respective meaning of 交 and 通. 交 means reach, meet, join, cross, or to be associated with. 通 means connect, lead to, communicate, transmit. When the 2 words are used together, a brand new compound meaning is created, which is to say something unobstructed or gain access, like transport or communication. Okay, before we begin the journey of learning transport in China, let's consider some warm-up questions. What is transport and its infrastructure? Talk about the transportation infrastructure in your country. How about the transportation infrastructure in your city? Do you think it is important to develop public transport in your city? Why and why not? I think you may have your own ideas and opinion towards each question. I also asked my overseas students to answer these questions before I came here. Want to know their questions and opinions? First response is from a girl who lives in a small city with limited means of transport. In her city, senior citizens tend to use bus more, while youngsters prefer to take taxi. She thinks there's no need to develop subway since it only takes 20 minutes to move around the whole city. The second response is from an overseas student who lives in a big city with large population. An express railway is under construction to facilitate the commute among 3 big cities in his country. He thinks it is of great importance to build public transportation systems. The third writer is a girl student who lives in the capital city with advanced transport facilities. An express railway is under construction to connect her city with another capital city of an economically developed province. According to her, advanced transport enables more possibilities. Response 4 is from an overseas boy student. He lives in a medium-sized city where traffic expenses matter a lot to people. He thinks public transport is the key to solve the traffic jam in the city in the future. So it is important to develop it beforehand. He seems to have a view for long term. Last response comes from a boy living in a city with all sorts of wheelchair accessibility facilities and public transport. A metro is under construction, which, according to him, may boost the local economy. He goes further that developing public transport is important for people's city lives. Okay, so let's recap. We have talked so far about the topics. For starters, transport in Chinese means to get access and to be connected. Secondly, the bigger the city, the more demands for more advanced transport facilities. Most of the people believe that with more means of transport and a quicker way to reach each other, the economy is likely to boost. That is exactly why China developed so fast in terms of transportation construction. Our government believes that 要变富先修路, whose literal translation is build more roads if you want to get richer. Roads will be the first category we will refer to when we are probing transport in China. Can't wait. Allez. Highway is a general word we use to mean the public road for public use. Despite the fact that roads can be categorized into different types according to its size and speed limit. No worries, we will look at them in details later. Freeways, avenues, roads, streets, paths are all included in this section. As usual, in order to begin a new topic, let's learn some basic language knowledge with the topic concerned. In China, the common practice to name the gigantic networks of roads or arteries is to signify the directions of the roads, say from south to north or from east to west, or vice versa. We can see on the screen that there are two characters. The upper one is 纵, meaning vertical or north to south. The lower one is 横, meaning horizontal or from east to west. Quiz time. Think hard. When 纵 and 横 work together, can you figure out the compound meaning? Let me give you some hints. It literally shows the four basic directions: east and west, south and north, or you can go either horizontally or vertically. With such a capability, you're free to go anywhere. Yep. The extended meaning of 纵横 is free-willed or go wild. Interesting and makes sense, right? Here we are looking at national superhighway arteries in China, known as 5 vertical and 7 horizontal superhighway. These arteries link all the mega cities with over 100 million population and 93% cities with over 50 million population. They cover 70% of total population in China, serving as the most important arteries nationwide with 35,000 kilometers in total. Let's find the 5 vertical road stretching from the southern point to the northern end of China, or from very east to the very west. You did it? Next, if you're interested in the specific places where these vertical or horizontal arteries begin or end, you may refer to next page. Among these cities, very probably you have heard about Beijing, capital of China, Shanghai, one of the most developed financial centers in China, nicknamed Oriental New York in the past, Shenzhen and Guangzhou, two of the four earliest economic developmental zones in China since the adoption of open policy back to 1979. We already know these superhighway arteries connect mega or big cities from previous discussion. So let's talk a bit more with something related with the mega, or what we call by the name 一线城市, namely first-tier cities. Look at the fancy pictures. Skyscrapers, unique styles, glittering city lights, grand architectures, and super road with stunning width and length. Quiz time again. Look carefully the four pictures and rack your brain. Which city is which? You may find some perfect combination of ancient buildings with high rises and also some landmark buildings known over the world. In picture 1, Canton Tower in Guangzhou, the highest building in China, looks like a fair lady with slender figure in the background, making a harmonious contrast to the Asian tiles in the foreground. You may have heard about tall buildings in Shanghai, many among the top 10 highest buildings in the world. In picture 2, they stand elegantly by Huangpu River, overlooking the century-old bank spotted with Chinese and Western-styled buildings. The exaggerating moon is shedding lights on the vast land with an ancient pavilion and modern buildings in the background. It's Beijing, our capital city. Last picture shows a commercial building overshadowing other buildings in the dawn, giving a promising sign of a new day or new era. We now know Chinese superhighway arteries connect the 4 most developed cities in China. With its financial, intellectual, economic, educational, internationally competitive strength, and along with other big cities surrounding these 4 first-tier cities. Of course, besides the 4 so-called first-tier cities, China also has other big cities with their own characteristics, like Hangzhou, the city I am now in. We will spare some time to talk about it later. From now on, let's look at different kinds of highways in China nationwide. The first type is 高速公路 expressway. It's totally enclosed with designated entries or exits, which means you can't go reversely or U-turn as you do in city road. The speed limit is 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. The second type is 一级公路, top-class highway. Cars run in different directions and lanes with a median strip or barrier. The speed limit is 60 to 100 kilometers per hour. The third type is 二级公路, second-class highway. There's no median strip or barrier in between, and there are only 2 lanes. The speed limit is 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Look at the autumn view alongside the road. It must be enjoying and soothing driving there. The fourth type is 三级公路, third-class highway or countryside highway. No median strip or barrier in between, and there are only 2 lanes as well. The speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. So far, you may notice Chinese caters for 1, 2, 3, which is like 1 line, 2 lines, and 3 lines piled up. Exactly. Your sharp eyes are appreciated. Till now, maybe you have more ideas about the highways in China. Which cities in China have you visited or learned of? A resort place? Capital city, certain provinces, or any financial center? Is transport important there? What transportation is offered there? When I traveled to Sanya, a coastal city famous for its summer resort, there were thousands of Chinese and foreigners coming as well for the sunshine. There are all means of transport that can be chosen from: airplane, express train, coach, and a cruise. It's super important for the city to expand its tourism by developing its transport. Factual time. Do you want to know some unique knowledge about Chinese highway, such as the longest, the highest above sea level, or the most delicately designed? Voila! Look at this horizontal artery stretching from east to very west. It is the Lianhuo superhighway, starting from the seaport in the East China Sea to one of the oldest land port in Xinjiang province. It is Xinjiang superhighway with the longest length of 2,841 kilometers and the highest average altitude of 4,500 meters. I assume people not from the area need to overcome extreme physical discomfort, such as wearing oxygen masks due to its high altitude. But the most impressive feature with this superhighway is its toughness to be built. With glacier, desert, or Gobi Desert and tundra scattering this land, it is super challenging to pave the road here successfully. Lastly, there was a vote over the most beautifully designed road several years ago in China. You may see it's a bridge over sea. Actually, this bridge is in Hangzhou, where I am. I'm super proud. The bridge elegantly stands in the crystal blue water, seemingly a wavy belt in between. Now we will move to the next chapter, the railway. China is famous for its express train, and it is a trend for young people to work in first-tier city while living in a nearby city with relatively low housing expense. How come? Because with the express train network, people are able to travel between cities within 1 hour or even half an hour, which actually is way faster than commuting in city traffic. For example, there are 210 kilometers between Hangzhou and Shanghai. It takes 55 minutes to travel in between. Considering the traffic jam people are facing in their everyday commute, 55 minutes is not bad at all. As usual, language point before we go. We covered 纵, 横 for the 4 directions from last chapter when naming the highway arteries. For the railway, it is the same practice. Besides 纵 and 横, we will learn 2 more new words. One is for railway, 铁路, which is composed by the character for iron plus the 1 meaning road. And the other one for train, 火车, meaning a cart or vehicle driven by burning fire. In the past, train did used to be powered by fire. That was how the word train was created in Chinese. Let's look at superrailway arteries with 八纵, 8 vertical lines, and 八横, 8 horizontal lines in China. Do you still remember the numbers for the highway system? Yes, it is 5 vertical and 7 horizontal lines for highway. Railway arteries in a few more than that for highways. CRH is a logo for China Railway High Speed. We can see these logos on the body of the train, on the ticket, or on vending machines, or any other railway-related products. Do you know the speed for the fastest train in China? The experimental speed can be up to 605 kilometers per hour, while the running speed in real life is 486 kilometers, still super quick. But on average, the express train runs around 550 kilometers per hour. That's why, with the same starting city and the same destination, the time the train may take to reach destination will vary. Let's have a close look. Take the express train traveling between Beijing and Shanghai, for example. The fastest train takes only less than 5 hours, and the slower one takes 6 hours. Considering the 1,400 kilometers distance between the 2 cities, choosing express train is a good choice. The ticket will be marked with different letters to show different speeds, such as G, D, C, with decreasing speed in linear order. Till now, you may wonder, how does a common train ticket look like? Whether there are some codes meaning something special? No worries. Kathy has prepared some basic knowledge about the tickets. Here is a breakdown of a train ticket from Xi'an bound for Hangzhou. Let's observe it from top to bottom. You may find the departure city and arrival city at the 2 sides of the arrow. You may find the time for departure with year, month, date. You may also see the price and the seating or sleeper class. Your ID and a name will be at the bottom. Here are some pictures about the differences of seatings in the train. Of course, the business of VIP class caters to people's privacy. It's more spacious in this cabin. With its leather seat, you may even lie down or settle yourself into it to relax yourself. Here are the pictures with first and the second seating. You may find the difference between first and second class mainly lies in the numbers of seats per row. Let's count. There are 2 plus 2 for the first class, and 3 plus 2 for second.
These things are crazy fun, but they're not fast enough. I need something with real speed. Where am I? Is this a high-speed train? Well, no one's here, so let's see how fast this thing can go. Whoa! I have never driven anything so fast in my life. What is this thing made of?
China's high-speed railway speed is picking up, like China's economic development in the last 4 decades. Currently, their running speed can reach between 300 to 350 kilometers per hour, almost comparable to an F1 car hurtling down a straight path at top speed. Statistics show that in 2008, China's high-speed railway network measured 6,415 kilometers, and by 2018, the network measured 29,000 kilometers in total, accounting for 64.4% of the world's total high-speed railway length, and surpassing the combined network length of all the other countries in the world. A World Bank's research report reveals that due to high-speed railways' proximity to city centers and great comfort and reliability, they're more competitive than air travel. By 2019, China's high-speed trains have transported 9 billion passengers, and the total passenger volume occupies 60.4% of the entire network. High-speed railways have become China's main means of train travel.
Ho ho, it's your put the theory into practice time. Let's try to read a ticket even you don't know much Chinese. How to read the train number? Look at the arrow. Above it, it says here it is G6271 with the letter G showing it is among the fastest train in China. Next, what is the destination? Look at the arrow again. It points to Shenzhen Bay. If you can spell roughly the pinyin, Chinese phonics, still remember Shenzhen, one of the 4 first-tier cities in China. Next question, when is the departure time? There is a series of numbers with a colon in the middle, so it is 7:12 in the morning, pretty early. Lastly, which carriage shall we sit in? And what is the seat number? Look at the right part beneath the destination. It reads here, 一车12A, which means carriage 1 with the seat number 12A, meaning the 12th row, seat A. By the way, it is a first-class cabin. We have talked about how the tickets look like and the seating system. Now we will look at the ways we can buy the ticket. Nowadays, people tend to use the railway app to purchase tickets. We simply input the from 2 cities and a list of available trains will pop up. Then you choose the proper time with your preferred class of seating and click pay by your e-wallet. Voila! It is the same to operate on the automatic selling machine in the train station, which is shown in the second picture. Hopefully, you have gained some confidence to buy a train ticket on your own in China now. Okay, let's take a break before we explore more about transport in China. See you soon.